glad you're here. So glad you're here. And I just first want to say that we had our first inkling of Reverend Sheila. She sent the email out, and she says to tell everybody hi. She loves you, and she misses you. So, there it is. So I want to start off this morning by just reading a little bit. I know we had a reading this morning, but I'd like to offer us this reading kind of just to anchor us for this time. And I'm reading from the Essential Ernest Holmes. And I'm going to kind of skip around, it's not going to be kind of a fluid type of reading. I'm going to read a little bit from here and a little bit from there. So stay with me. The science which we are to practice is based on the theory that there is a universal mind and an eternal spirit from which all things spring. The spirit is the creator and the sustainer of all that is. You have immediate access to this divine mind, this universal principle, this creative power. Man has access to the great whole and draws as much power from this source as he is capable of intelligently using. Man is not the power. He is the avenue through which the power flows. There is a universal wholeness seeking expression through everything. If we could comprehend this, the fact that there is a power that makes things directly out of itself by simply becoming a thing it makes, could we but grasp this greatest truth about life and realize that we are dealing with a principle scientifically correct and eternally present. We could accomplish whatever it is possible for us to conceive. Life externalizes at the level of our thought. Just a couple more. We do well to listen to this inner voice, for it tells us of a life wonderful in its scope, of a love beyond our fondest dreams, of a freedom which the soul craves. Sometimes we find ourselves torn by confusion, by conflict, by affirmation and denial, by emotion congested by fear, and congealed by pride. We are afraid of the universe in which we live, suspicious of people around us, uncertain of salvation of our own souls. All these things negatively reacts. However, let us restate our principle. We are surrounded by an infinite possibility. It is goodness, life, law, and reason. In expressing itself through us, it becomes more fully conscious of its own being. Therefore, it wishes to express through us. As it passes into our being, it automatically becomes the law of our lives. It can pass into expression through us only as we consciously allow it to do so. Therefore, we should have faith in it and its desires and its ability to do for us all that we shall ever need to have done. Since it must pass through our consciousness to operate for us, we must be conscious that it is doing so. So I just wanted to anchor us there in that space. The topic for this month is infinite possibilities. That's our theme for the month. And so with infinite possibilities, it makes the presumption that we are seeking something. Let me back up for a second. Just the word infinite possibilities in and of itself can knock you off your feet. When you think about infinite possibilities, that is everything that you can imagine. That is everything that you can imagine plus infinity. It never stops. It just never, ever ever stops. That is what infinite possibilities equate to. And so it assumes then that we are seeking something that is infinite. But before we can really delve into seeking, we have to understand it and see it as it is. That is, see it, that's a capital I and a capital T, as capital I, capital T is. See it as it is. Understand its true nature. Understand our true nature. Understand God's true nature. So here we say that God is all that there is. I think in the reading that Rana did this morning, it spoke to that. And it spoke about that allness of God being within us. Everywhere. Wherever we are, it is. So that means then that each one of us has the potential to create the lives we desire. Everybody, all things, have that potential. So there are some things to consider when we are talking about infinite possibilities. And I think the first thing that comes up front, at least in my mind, is this whole idea of oneness. Knowing that we are never separate and apart from God. This is a big one. Everywhere that I am, God is. In its fullness. Nothing missing, nothing lacking, all of it. Not separate and apart from it. It is right where I am. That was a tough one for me to get and to grasp. But if we're talking about infinite possibilities and we're seeking to have new experiences in our lives, we have to understand that we are one with God. One mind, one power, one presence, one essence, one life. One mind operating. It's allness, it's fullness. Right here where I am. I just want us to be in that for a minute, to feel it. To understand that we are the very things that we're seeking. Its fullness is within me. All of it. And so, here I would offer that if this is challenging for you, if you find yourself in a place, in a space where you are feeling separate and apart, or if this is an idea that you've held on to since eternity, that God is there and I'm here, then let your prayer be, I surrender, I let go of these old ideas, my old ways of being and doing. Let me know that right where I am, God is. In its fullness, in its entirety. Let that be your prayer. Start there. With oneness. We are the very things that we are seeking. And so the next thing I think we have to really give some time to and some consideration to then is, if we are seeking something, we're one with God, then throughout this whole process, God is a part of it. But it leads us to a place and a space then where we have to engage in making a choice. Now it's going to be sticky. But we have to be willing to make a choice. It's just what it is. I'm not talking about just a willy-nilly type of choice. I'm talking about a conscious choice. One that's deliberate. A conscious choice about life. How we choose to have it unfold. who we choose to be, what we desire to give to this beautiful, beautiful place and space. It's deliberate. It's a conscious choice. You see, the thing about choices is it puts the onus back on you. It makes you responsible for your own life. It's a choice you made. And that's hard for some people. That's hard for some of us to take responsibilities for our own life. But if we're going to dive into what's infinite and what's possible, we have to make a choice. Now, making a choice means you let go of one thing to have another thing. That's what a choice is. I'm letting this go, and I'm choosing this. A choice. And the other thing about choice is this. Choice is about what? It's not about how, and it's not about why. Choice is about what? If you let yourself play with how, you delve into the future. And if you let yourself play with why, you're dealing in the past. Choice is about what? Choice is not about why, and choice is not about how. Choice is about what? What is? The isness of God flows through right here and right now. Right where I am, all the time, in its fullness. It's not about how, and it's not about why. It's about what. Now, with choice, some real interesting things happen. I told you, it's about releasing one thing so that you can have another. It's about making a conscious choice, a deliberate choice. So when you have to make a choice, it can get real sticky because you find yourself sometimes having to go against what you've been taught all your life. And not only has it been taught to you all your life, it's been taught to your mama, her mama, her mama, her daddy, and everybody. So it's ingrained in you. It becomes what you truly believe to be true. So you have to go against that. And your mind might start to tell you that, I don't know if I'm ready to get down with that. I ain't trying to hear what they got to say about me being different. I'm just not going there. I can't do it. I'd rather much stick with what I know. And besides, if I give up what I know, I really don't know what it's going to be replaced with. So no, just let me stick with what I know. No. Choice is about letting go of one thing to have something else. It's about letting go of how and why. It don't matter. When you get right down to it, when you find yourself in this present moment, none of that matters. Don't matter what they did to you. Don't matter that he left you, or that she cheated, or that you feel yourself feeling less than or lacked. Doesn't matter in this moment. It just doesn't matter. So you find yourself really having to examine your ideas, to go within and see what you really believe, to give you the power that you need to make a conscious choice, a deliberate choice. See, if you don't examine your own ideas, your thoughts, and your beliefs, then you don't have anything to choose from. So you have to examine then your own ideas, your own thoughts. We're talking about infinite possibilities. Making a choice. Having God express through us in its allness and its fullness right here and right now, right where we are. it is the way that God gets to experience itself. When you choose love, it becomes your experience. It's God's experience. You choose joy, it becomes your experience. It's God's experience. You have to make a choice. The other thing about making a choice is that we sometimes feel like we might make the wrong choice. I don't want to choose because I might make the wrong choice. You can't make a wrong choice. There is no wrong choice. When you have become one with God and Spirit and Source, you allow that to be your experience, to speak to you, speak through you. You have to remember there's only one mind, one power, one presence. You become fully aware then that your choice is God's choice. There is no wrong choice. One mind, one idea, one power, one presence. There's no way to make a wrong choice. And if being one with God, being in that space and place is wrong, then I don't want to be right. If it's wrong, I don't want to be right. You got to be willing to make a choice. We're talking about infinite possibilities. The other thing sometimes we find ourselves doing is we want to mix. We want a little bit of this, we want a little bit of that, when we're making a choice. Well, that's good sometimes in some instances, but if you want to get the full experience of the sweetness of a mango, you got to experience the mango. You can't be mixing it with a banana or orange. You got to experience the mango. You got to make a deliberate, conscious choice. Infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities. Now, just to bring this home a little bit more, I don't know if you all know or not, but I had the opportunity to parent a 2-year-old. And so with parenting, you look at a lot of TV. You just do. It's what it is. So in my house, we love Dora the Explorer. And I don't know if you know about Dora the Explorer, but let me tell you a little bit about Dora the Explorer. Because the show is about infinite possibilities. Dora being clear about what? She's always clear about what. So the show comes on, and there's some theme music, because Dora's got theme music. And so in the theme music it says, grab your backpacks, let's go. That's part of the theme music, right? And so what happens is, something happens, and then Dora has to decide what. So the kittens are lost, and Dora has to decide, I'm going to go find the kittens and bring the kittens back home to their mom. Because they're only kittens. They need their mom. Now, Dora has a friend. His name is Boots. He's a monkey. And Boots goes everywhere that Dora goes. They travel together. You see, you need a friend when you are dealing with infinite possibilities, because sometimes you forget who you are. And your friend is there to remind you who you are and to remind you about the oneness of God. You need a friend. If you don't have a friend, you might want to consider getting a friend, someone who can remind you about who you are. So Dora and Boots, they know what. They're clear about the what. They don't dwell in why. They're not so overwhelmed with how. They're just centered in the what. Okay, the kittens, let's get them kittens, bring them kittens back home. Right? So then what happens is Dora will say, okay, what are we going to do? So the kids who's watching the show, they go, the map, right? So a map appears, right? The map comes on the scene, and the map is like, I'm the map. I am the map, right? So the map shows up, and the map is talking to the kids. The map is like, okay, this is what you tell Dora to do. You tell Dora to go through that cave. Then you tell Dora to go over the bridge. Okay, in the cave, that's where one cat is going to be. And over the bridge, that's where the second cat is going to be. Right? So then the map leaves, and then then Dora's like, okay, so what I have to do, and the kids yell out, the cave and over the bridge. That's where the cats are. So Dora and Boots, they set off. They are explorers. They are seeking something. I'm talking about infinite possibilities. Seeking something. So Dora and Boots, they set out. They on their way to the cave. Right? So they get to the cave. They look in the cave. They're like, oh, it's dark in here. How are we going to see that cat? How are we going to see the cat, right? Well, I told you in the theme music, Dora has a backpack, right? So in the backpack is all the tools, anything you could possibly imagine that you might need, so that when you come up against the bumps in the road, so when you feel that there is no way, that there's only a crooked way, go to your backpack. Go to prayer, go to meditation, go to visioning, whatever it is that you need. So Dora goes into the backpack. Guess what's in the backpack? A flashlight, yes! A flashlight is in that backpack. So Dora, they turn on the flashlight, they find the kitten, they get the kitten, they're like, oh yeah, the kitten, right? So now they have to go over the bridge. So they travel, they go on their journey, they got the one cat, they're real happy, they got the cat, they get to the bridge. When they get to the bridge is up. So you can't get across the bridge. They're like, oh man, how are we going to get that cat? Well then, suddenly, an angel will appear, or somebody will appear out of nowhere, and they'll say, look, I've been living here all my life. I know how to get the bridge down. All you have to do is to say a chant, and the bridge will come down, right? So then the kids, they engage in whatever the chant happens to be. And the chant, what if the chant was, don't you know God is here? Don't you know God is here? So they just keep repeating this, whatever the chant happens to be. The bridge comes down a little bit, they say it again, it comes down a little bit further, they say it again until it's smooth. And they can go across the bridge to get the cat. So they go ahead across the bridge, they get the cat. They're all happy, real happy about that, right? Like, oh yeah, we got the cat, we're going to take the cats back to mama, it's going to be a lot of fun. But the interesting thing here, and where we are now, we're talking about infinite possibilities, being one with God, knowing who we are, the fullness of the power and the presence of God, being willing to make a choice, a deliberate choice, a conscious choice, where we know we can't make the wrong choice. We got backpacks. We got what we need. We got cats. Now we have to be in a place of acceptance. We've got to accept the good, the very thing that we were seeking. Understanding that it starts right here where we are. We already have everything we need. And when it shows in the physical form, you have to be willing to accept it. Now, if Dora and Boots got the cats, and they was like, no, we ain't taking the cats. Take these cats back. Take it back. Right? It's like me saying, no, I don't want the love you have to give me. I don't want the love you have to give me because it didn't come from the person I wanted to come from. I don't want to engage in joy because, well, I just don't. I don't want to see oneness everywhere because them people. Them over there. When you do that, when we do that, we don't understand our very nature. It's our very nature to accept. That's the only way we can give. That's the only way God can express through us is in our acceptance of what is, of the very thing that we desire. If you want love, accept it. If you're looking for the way out of no way, when the way shows up, acknowledge it. Accept it. Infinite possibilities. Oneness with God. All there is in its fullness right here, right now, right where I am. Let me see it everywhere. Let me know it. Let me release all fear, doubt, and my ability to make a deliberate and conscious choice. And when it shows up, let me receive it and let me accept it. Let's pray.